Hi everyone, welcome back to Ed Paris TV. So now we're going to talk a little bit about longevity. And most of the things that I hear from people in terms of regrets and what they regret doing. When I spoke to a bodybuilder recently who was in his late 50s, early 60s, he told me that one of the biggest regrets that he had was powering through movements while sacrificing form, just so he could lift more weight. And this can really wreck your joints. It can ruin your tendons. So something very important to keep in mind is to pace yourself. And remember that in order to develop both the white muscle fibers that are intertwined with the nervous system and the red muscle fibers that are intertwined with the cardiovascular system, you can stimulate those fibers with perfect form using slow, controlled movement. The same is true for people who are trying to develop explosiveness as an athlete. You don't need to mimic the motion of the practice of the athlete with weight training. In other words, to develop explosive muscle, you don't do explosive movements. You do slow, controlled movements, which is what really makes the white fibers intertwine and connect with the nervous system. So doing a very slow and deliberate movement with emphasis on contraction and emphasis on tension during the stretched portion of the movement will strengthen the ligaments and develop the white fibers without sacrificing your joints, without destroying your cartilage, your ligaments and tendons. So it's very important to keep in mind. Also, not to try to mimic the function with resistance. For example, the technique can be ruined if you're throwing punches with dumbbells in your hands, or if you're trying to mimic a swing of some kind with resistance at the end of a pole attached to a pulley system like I've seen some people do. So keep that in mind, because you could really prolong your career as an athlete or a martial artist simply by training smart. So instead of trying to imitate things or gratify the ego to be able to just throw some heavy weight up, it's best to focus more on form. Perfect form, not just form, perfect form. And so that you can maximize the contraction and the emphasis of the tension during the stretched portion of the movement. Now, when it comes to nutrition, eating greens, you can't eat enough greens. I don't think I know a single person that eats enough greens. So besides the greens, also things like bone broth. Here in Philadelphia, we have a place in South Philly where you can buy bones, and you can, simmer them for a long time and have the broth as the base for any kind of thing you're doing, a sauce, a soup, anything. So bone broth is good because the collagen is good for the joints, it lubricates everything. So keep that in mind as well, in a nutritional way and in the method that you train, to preserve your activities and be able to prolong them for as long as you can, so you can enjoy them and be successful at them for a long period of time. Because remember, if you come up the ranks too soon and too fast, you'll burn out. You'll see that even with soccer players, where they're being recruited into these camps at an early age, and by the time they're pros, first, second year, boom, they blow out a ligament, they're burned out, can't play. So no need to rush. You don't need to rush to get to your goal. Take your time and do it right. Train smart. Okay, so catch you next time on Ed Paris TV. Have a good one, and talk to you soon. Please like and subscribe. Any comments or suggestions, shoot. I'm all ears. Very open mind. All right, have a good one. Peace.